you trying to tell me if I win the auction on Steve Vai's Hydra, it won't make me a better guitar player? Shows what you know.
Yeah, I guess you've got a point. Expensive guitars definitely make you a better player. Sure worked out well for me. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Friday, March 25th. At least I hope it is. I'm doing this video ahead of time. Hopefully it goes out on schedule. Anyway, hope you're gonna have an amazing weekend. It's spring. Things are starting to warm up. Thankfully, we're finally through winter. And hopefully all is right with the world by the time this video goes out. Right now at the end of February, might be looking a little bit dodgy. Who knows? Hopefully things get better in a few weeks. Anyway, this is my show. That is when I can speak in complete sentences. Where I answer your comments and questions about recording, being in a band, music gear, all that cool stuff that we know and love. And as always, I love hearing from you guys. So if you've got a comment, question, please leave it in the description below. I guarantee I'll read it. I can't guarantee it'll make it on the show, but if you ask me a question I think can benefit the community as a whole, I'd be more than happy to answer it. Anyway, the show's about you, not about me. So let's get right to it, shall we?
A person at Gibson said that I should always play high quality. I then told them thank you and left.
Ooh, burn!
Instead of forcing workers to meet quotas and threatening them, maybe try rewarding them with bonuses for exceeding expectations, on top of decent compensation.
Yeah, last time I checked, they really don't do that in the States. They're really good at the, hey, you finished all that work, great, here's more work as a bonus. And you should be grateful to work at such a prestigious company as ours, where you can't even afford to pay the rent in the city that the factory is in. That's how things are done in America. Hey, if they start giving out bonuses to the workers who actually, make the guitars that the company sells, what the fuck are the CEOs gonna do? They're gonna get snapped up by some other company that's gonna give them bonuses because they exploit their workers better. Yeah, I know. How dare I suggest that the people who build the guitars that we love get paid a living wage. I know, I'm off my fucking rocker, aren't I?
Usually the videos that you put a lot of effort into prove a whole lot of people wrong and creates buyer's remorse. People don't want to change. They want to believe that that new old stock tube that they paid $400 for was worth it. Keep doing the good videos though, we need them.
Fear you may have a point there, Chiron. I really appreciate that. I've definitely felt buyer's remorse as well. After spending months and months and months on gear slots, researching preamps and converters and all this other stuff to improve my guitars, I went out and got a Vintech Dual 72, plugged it in, my guitar tone didn't change at all. Where was the magic warmth that I was hearing about? Turns out it's fucking bullshit! Preamps are fucking preamps, and as long as you don't distort them, they're gonna be absolutely fine. The problem I had wasn't bad converters. It wasn't that I didn't have esoterics preamps. It was the fact that I had a bad 57 that could be fixed. And this was a problem that I fixed for the measly price of $99. So if you're not getting a sound you like, maybe you've got an issue with the microphone. Try swapping your microphone out and see if you have better results. That would be my suggestion. And for those of you guys out there who enjoy the science-based videos, I will keep them coming, because the main reason I do a lot of these videos is to answer my own questions, because I find there's a lot of misinformation out there, because it's far easier to take a wild guess and make an assumption based on somebody else's assumption than to actually do the test yourself. Just the other day, there was a guy bitching at me in my tube test video. He said, oh, well, I just did a test where I swapped the tube out and you can hear the sounds that much more rounder. And it's like, dude, you played two completely different takes at two completely different levels. Yeah, you proved the Fletcher-Munson curve. Congratulations. That's the whole fucking problem. When we hear something louder, we think it's better. You have to take the second take down, match the fucking gain, and listen to what's going on and see if there's any actual tone shift. That's the important part to do. And to really do an accurate test, you have to reamp the same performance. If you don't do that, you're not going to get an accurate result. Hey everyone, real quick. I reached out to my friend Trey Xavier over at Gear Gods, and he agreed to put his complete rock and metal songwriting course on sale for this weekend only. Now, it's normally a $500 course, and he's dropped the price down to only $297 until end of day Sunday. It's a 15-hour monster that will help you with your arrangements, write choruses and hooks, and help you get around writer's block. Now, if you're tired of people hitting the next button when they listen to your music, then this is the course that's made for you. It's going to help you write better songs, and most importantly, help you create something people will want to listen to more than once. Once again, it's on sale till end of day Sunday, so grab it now before the price goes back up to $500. Now back to the show.
It always blows my mind slightly how little understanding guitarists have over how sound actually works. Think Things like when guitars have 5 different clean boosts because each has a different mojo, but refuse to buy a fucking EQ pedal, or they suddenly have the amazing revelation that cabs make more of a difference to your sound than what the color the fucking guitar is painted. I swear, your average guitarist thinks it all works by some kind of magic rather than a predictable scientific thing. And also, that's presumably why these clown shoes end up paying thousands and thousands and thousands for magic Snake Oil, preferably vintage, equipment.
Hey, C-Law, thank you so much for writing in. I'm glad somebody fucking gets it. Yeah, for all this stuff here, like, amps are great. They all have a wonderful certain sound to them, but they're all variations on theme. You want to start making real differences in your guitar sound, start checking out different speaker brands, because that's where the tone really is. It's not the fucking wood, it's not the tubes, it's the fucking speakers. Try something new. I know they're not pretty, but believe me, it's like Han Solo, so it's got it where it counts.
Grow up, man.
Dude, why the fuck would I do that? Where's the fun in that? Grow up, man. Oh, seriously, get over yourself. Don't take yourself so seriously. You know what? I'll quote John Cougar Mellencamp on this one. He said, growing up leads to growing old, and growing old leads to dying. And dying to me doesn't sound like all that much fun.
I don't trust people who expect that flowery language and a smiling attitude for them will want to have anything to do with you. They've got some nasty shit to say, but just won't say it to your face. Fake people suck.
Yeah, that's the hilarious thing. I've been to, I don't know how many conventions over the years, and not one person has ever come up to me and said, "You're such a fucking asshole, man. You're such a fucking asshole." Everybody's so nice to me face to face, and then they just talk shit about me online. It's really great. But yeah, you're right. Fake people do suck, and I can definitely think of a couple prime candidates who not only suck, but swallow too.
Hi, Glenn! I figured out how to connect my Marshall DSL 20HR to audio interface without using the shitty built-in emulated out. The IR in it sucks so much, man. Sound comes out of the effects loop, so I have a signal that needs some IR. At this moment, I'm using NAT IR from TSL Tones, but I want something better. Can you recommend some IR that are good and free or cheap? Or something really good that you consider a good price? Can always save some buck to try it. Thanks, and you know what.
Well, hey there, Fallen Empress. Thanks so much for writing in. Yes, I can make a couple of recommendations. I did a free impulse release there a few months back about the Zilla Cab. I'm sure if you asked around on the Discord, I'm sure somebody's got it somewhere. I think it's up on Spectre Digital as well. Maybe hit up the Spectre Digital webpage and just send us an email. I'm sure we can dig it up for you. The other thing, what you could do is you can check out the Catharsis IRs. Those originated on the Andy Sneap forum back around 2005, 2006, and they're absolutely fantastic, and they're free, and they're great. I definitely recommend checking those out as well. Just do a Google search for Catharsis IRs. You should have no problem locating them whatsoever. I can say this as somebody who's used those IRs. They're fantastic. I think you're going to love the sounds you're going to get with it. Good luck to you.
Glenn! Question. How would one delay microphones by samples in reverb? When combining different microphones on a cabinet, flipping phase and delay and mics by samples, not milliseconds, in order to cancel out unwanted frequencies once the phase is flipped back. Yes, I know the phase flip and the mixer window. I'm just not sure how to delay mics by samples. Love your content, expert advice, and instruction.
Well, hey, Nicholas G, great question. You know, I've done something like that just recently where I took an SM57, which was up close on the cab, and then I took the Toll G12, which is meant to get like the whole picture of the cab, and had it back by several feet. And you need to time align those. Now, time aligning that by ear can be really difficult, but fortunately there is a program by Songwriting called Auto Align, and it is worth its weight in gold. If you don't have a copy of it, get it now. It'll save you endless hours of grief because it does all the heavy lifting for you, and you can just get back to the important thing, which is mixing, instead of fucking around by time delaying, trying to get all your mics to work out. This works on guitar amps, this works on drums, it just works on fucking everything. And now I'm going to sound like a fucking commercial here, but if you are serious about your audio engineering, you need Soundradix's Auto Align in your toolbox because it's awesome.
I'd like to add my interest in the SMG Cab. There are not a large variety of speaker options, and I'm sure you guys would make some cool choices. I'm sure this isn't on your radar, but I think there's a big hole in the market for a bass cab that has a full range of tones. Think how Billy Sheehan has his guitar split into 2 amps to capture highs and lows separately, instead of having just a woofer do all the work. You could split the highs, lows, and mids into some different speaker configurations instead of just woofer and tweeter.
That might make sense. Probably worth experimenting with anyway. Now, for guitar speakers, there are tons of options out there. It's just nobody ever talks about, because it seems, especially in heavy metal anyway, that once the Vintage 30 was discovered, the exploration stopped, and I think that really fucking sucks. I'd like to see some of these prog guitar players out there make some fucking progress and try using their imaginations for a change and imagine themselves using a different fucking speaker. Once again, that's where the sound is. Try something new. We've already got a million fucking gent clones out there doing the, Vintage 30 Mesa Cab thing, and that's fine. It sounds good, but it's fucking done to death. As for bass cabinets, I've got a couple, they sound pretty similar to each other. I don't know how much room there is, because this is the thing, when you're down that low, you're not getting a lot of definition in your mid-range like you would on a guitar signal, so I don't know. I could be completely wrong here. I could be talking out of my ass. If somebody has some insights on bass cabinets and bass speakers, that kind of thing, and getting different tones, hey, you know what? I'm more than happy to sit down and be part of the class. Let us know, enlighten us. I would really like to hear from somebody about that.
I would love to see a long video on getting bass tones, not just here's a nice plugin, using outboard like pedals, amps, etc., and how to design it to match the guitars, what areas to carve and what areas to push. I know you've told me many times that there's some interesting content coming, but I'm still waiting for the In Flames chainsaw bass tone.
Oh, I could probably do that with an amp or two and some mics and stuff and maybe some pedals. That might be fun. We should definitely try some stuff out. I would think, an HM2 or a Grindstone would probably be a good layering type of sound to throw on a bass guitar. Might be really fucking cool. Yeah, maybe that is an episode I need to do. Once again, we've got something very cool coming from Spectre Digital, but we're still not prepared to make a public announcement about it yet. I can't give you any details other than, it's going to be really cool. I know you guys are going to like it. Stay tuned.
Hey Glenn and everyone, your input would be more than welcome in the thread. I'm currently in the process of releasing an album my style is thrash metal, which is known to be anarchist and rebellious against regimes more than any other subgenre. Yet so far, one vocal and one studio have rejected working on my album due to simply telling a story that's mentioned in books and a known fact. Not bashing anyone or insulting, but still some don't want to take part in the album. So my question is what I'm doing wrong, and should write about what pleases and don't hurt public opinions, or should I write what I see as right as long as I'm not adding anything that's already been told and documented? Thanks for taking the time to read this.
Well, man, context is everything, and we're all connected much more than we were, say, maybe 30 years ago when you could write really rebellious shit and get away with it. With nothing to go on, I can only speculate that maybe you might have touched a nerve with a studio owner, and he doesn't want to be associated with that for fear, of potential backlash, that kind of thing. You got to remember, you got every right to write what's in your heart, but somebody else has a right to refuse to fucking record it if they don't feel your music is worth the risk. So there is that. It's a two-way street. The other thing is just approach your subject material respectfully as well. There is that. And don't disparage vulnerable groups of people. That's just a giant red flag right there.
Glenn, if I have no choice but to mix in a naked room, and believe me, this isn't what I want to do, but I have no choice, would it be best to buy a really expensive pair of headphones? Does it really make a difference between $150 headphones and $500 headphones? What are your thoughts on some of the really high-end headphones like audiophiles? Would it be better to get open backs in an untreated room? I also plan on using studio emulated plugin to get closer to the sound of mixing on speakers. Thank you so much.
Well, I've heard some really great stuff about the Slate VSX stuff. If you want to try the headphones thing, maybe start there. I reviewed these a couple months back. These are the Sennheisers, and we used the Deer VR software. I was very impressed with these, and as I recall, these weren't majorly expensive or anything, and they are open back. Great pair of headphones. Love mixing on these. The other thing is, if you've got monitors, you can place them in an untreated room, but you have to be careful. There's some kind of rule of thirds going on there. I did a video on this a couple of years ago with the guys at Cali Audio, but unfortunately my editor vanished with the footage, where we set the monitors up in an untreated room, and we got a really nice bass response out of them because we were back from the wall a certain way. I don't remember what the effect is called, but I guarantee you, if you hit up the Cali Audio guys, if you went to their website and asked them about it, they'd be more than happy to help you out on this one. And this is a video I probably really need to redo at some point and to help out, because I know a lot of you guys out there just don't have the budget to do acoustic treatment. I'm also going to do an acoustic treatment hacks video at some point too, to show you guys how you can set stuff up and not do it permanently by damaging your walls or anything like that too.
Fuck you, Glenn! What do you think of people who ruin the image of bands who have built up a specific image by hiding their identities, marketing themselves differently, having a different feel for their live shows, etc.? There's this certain band called Sleep Token that I've really enjoyed for the past 2.5 years now, and they're built around their hidden identities, but there are certain people out there who spread information about the band's identities, essentially ruining their image. What do you think of people like that?
I think people like that are dicks. I mean, I've got a friend of mine who's in a band like that where he keeps his identity hidden. The entire band's identity is hidden because when there's mystique about a band, then it becomes interesting. Kiss worked this so well in the 70s. Nobody knew what they looked like without that makeup on, and they made millions doing that. The one thing about the internet, I gotta say, is it really did kill the rock star. It took the mystique away. In the 80s, a lot of these guys were larger than life figures and whatnot, but it's hard for them to have that mystique when they're constantly sharing selfies on Instagram and that kind of stuff, and they're constantly switched in, and you've got access to every facet of their lives. I think that's why you're seeing bands do the anonymous thing, because then it becomes about the music and not about their personalities, and that makes it interesting. So yeah, if somebody's going out of their way to, out the person like that, that's just a dick move in my opinion. It's like, let people have a little bit of that escapism for a change.
Hey Glenn, my studio workspace is not yet soundproof, nor does it have any acoustic treatment yet. I like to blast music when I'm bored, watching Monday mix reviews, or doing something other than recording. My wife hates it.
Have you considered getting a new wife?
My office door stops less sound than a beaded curtain. What would be a cheap temporary fix to this until I can afford a better door? Sometimes putting a towel under the door helps a bit with the high end, but the bass just flies down the hall and into the living room. My subs are on the laminate floor. Should I put something under them? Thanks. Also, fuck you, Glenn.
Well, yeah, towels aren't going to do anything. You need to make your door airtight, and to do that, you need neoprene seals. You can get them at your local Home Depot and whatnot. You can put them around the door frame, so that way when the door closes, it forms an airtight seal. You have to make your door airtight, and towels aren't going to do it. Once you make the door airtight, that's great, and when you get another door, make sure it's a heavier one. Get a steel door or a solid core door, because I'm going to take a wild guess that your door is hollow, so that's not going to stop shit. That's the difference between treatment and soundproofing. Soundproofing actually stops sound. For things to be soundproof, you need two things. You need mass, and you need it to be airtight. I built very heavy walls in here, and everything's airtight and sealed up and whatnot, and that's why I can play drums at 3 in the morning and not get any complaints from my neighbors. You need a fucking stronger door for one thing. You need to seal it. That's another thing. And you should probably think about putting another layer of drywall on your listening room's internal walls and use some green glue with that to help stop the sound as well. It'll probably keep your marriage much happier.
Glenn, what are your thoughts on the Nerdcore scene? If you're not aware, there's a scene for people who are making songs about anime and video games. Although a majority of people in that scene are rappers, there are a few out there who are doing rock and even metal. If one of these guys or a band came into the studio wanting to record this music, would you be down for it? Also, fuck you, Glenn.
Dude. Really? Okay, just in case you didn't get the memo, I think, what have we done? We've done 3 covers from Beck. We did Moon on the Water. We did Like a Fujin. Oh yeah, we also did the theme from Detroit Metal City. Yeah, that was the 3rd one as well. Those videos are up on my channel. We got Siegfried Song singing Moon on the Water, and we've got Trey Watson singing Like a Fujin, and Detroit Metal City. He does an amazing fucking job. Both those guys are absolutely incredible, and it's my extreme pleasure to work with those guys because they're just as big nerds as I am. In fact, over on the Discord, we are working on a metal cover of the theme to Mushoku Tensei, which was just a brilliant fucking anime. A little bit pervy, but great fucking story nonetheless. And we're gonna try and put the pedal to the metal on that one. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. It's kind of a big collab we got going on. So yeah, if a band came in and wanted to do that kind of shit, I'd be like, dude, what anime are we doing? Attack on Titan, or Saga of Tanya, The Evil, or old classic like Death Note. Let's figure something out. What are we gonna do? I'm all in. I'm totally in.
This isn't really music related, but I just discovered your channel, and after watching a lot of your older videos to see current ones, you can really see the progression in your weight loss journey. It's a big inspiration. I applaud your success. It's time to get my fat ass away from the dinner table.
Hey Wayne, good for you, dude. Yeah, just don't get discouraged. Just keep doing it. I went keto diet, and here I am like 2 years in and loving it. I gained a little bit back, but that's just because I need to get out and fucking exercise more. Looking forward to the warmer weather and I can get on my bicycle, because I really do like riding quite a bit. But seriously, it's never too late to start. Seriously, dude, all you got to do is get away from refined carbs and sugars, and you're going to do just fine. Yes, you can do it. First couple days are going to be rough. It's going to be like coming down from an addiction, but you find yourself with a much better headspace. Actually, you can concentrate easier, and in my case, I'm a whole lot less angry because of it, because my system isn't constantly inflamed.
Hey Glenn, I was wondering about your opinion on the Canon EOS M with Magic Lantern as a starting camera for cheap.
I don't have any experience with the EOS M. Now, I did shoot with a D50 back in the day, and we was running some early Magic Lantern stuff on there, and we were shooting raw video with it, and yeah, that was fucking crazy because the thing would stall out half the time. I did some really bad music videos with it back in the day, and they took way too much data. I don't know if you're going to be shooting raw with that Magic Lantern, or you're just going to be using it for the extended functions. I mean, a lot of those Canon beginner cameras are easy because they can do beginner stuff. I know Leo from Frog Leap, he uses just the little Canons, and he does just fine with those with no problems at all. I've always said this though, if you want to get a cheap camera to start with and get some great results, go check out an old GH2. Those are 1080 and they look fantastic, and you can get them for a couple $100 with the lens. Definitely worth having a look on eBay for one of those.
Hate Monger. Sounds like a supervillain's name. When do you move him to the extinct volcano?
Dave, have you seen the price of real estate lately? You gotta be out of your fucking mind. I can't even afford to build a bigger garage, much less fucking afford a volcano. Jeez. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing and all that good stuff. You got a comment or question? I want to hear from you. Leave it in the comments below. Oh yeah, reminder, please if you want to get better at songwriting, check out Trey Xavier's Ultimate Songwriting Metal Course. It's on sale for $297, and the price is going to go up to $500 Sunday night. So you only got a couple days to grab it at this very special price. It is an absolutely amazing course. It's 15 hours long, and it will help you write better songs instead of riff fucking salad. Check it out while you can. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. And until then, get out there and make some metal, you amazing motherfuckers. Everybody, that's it. You're an idiot. Okay, one more time. I'm an idiot tonight. Yeah, I know. No big difference from any other time, but whatever.
Ooh, self-burn. Those are rare.